Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. I am Money Mike, and happy birthday to, well, not me. Today is March 31st, which means it is the, official 39th birthday of WrestleMania. Anyway, March 31st, 1985 was the first ever WrestleMania in which we saw Hulk Hogan team with Mr. T to take on Roddy Piper and Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff in the first ever WrestleMania main event. Hence, why I am wearing my Hulkamania t-shirt for this video. Because when you see this video, it is going to be March 31st, 2023, and the anniversary of the very first WrestleMania. But we're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what's going to happen Saturday and Sunday, as WrestleMania is now, and thankfully has continued to be a two-night spectacular, stupendous. Are we not using that phrase anymore? I guess not. WrestleMania Saturday, we know that it's going to kick off with John Cena returning to WWE to challenge Austin Theory for the United States Championship. I think WWE has done a tremendous job rebuilding Austin Theory after everyone said that Austin Theory was done when he cashed in his Money in the Bank on Seth Rollins for the U.S. Championship and he lost. But they've done a great job rebuilding him back up. For me, this could go either way. Because you could easily have Cena lose to Theory on the night after WrestleMania, or potentially lose to somebody else, a debuting talent from NXT, like Braun Breaker, or maybe a free agent signing who happens to go by the nickname Switchblade. Point being here is you can go either way with this. I think Theory wins. Whether or not it establishes Theory as a future main eventer going forward, we will see. But I think Triple H has done a great job rebuilding Theory, and I think Cena is back to put over Theory, and Theory will retain the United States Championship. Keeping with championships here, the SmackDown Women's Championship, Rhea Ripley, Charlotte Flair. Rhea Ripley won the Women's Royal Rumble, and she has made a complete turnaround in the Judgment Day. Since joining the group, it is her time. Obviously, the build-up hasn't really been too much. A lot of disappointment. Again, if you missed my video from a couple months ago when I talked about the booking of the women's division, when Becky and Bayley had their steel cage match cut, you still see the issues with the women's division and the booking in the lead up with not just this match, but also Bianca versus Asuka. And I think it's Rhea Ripley's time. I think this is made for Rhea Ripley. The Women's Royal Rumble this year, the only logical person who could win was Rhea Ripley. And Rhea Ripley here gets her revenge from a couple years ago from Pandemic Mania when Charlotte beat Rhea for the NXT Women's Championship, and Rhea Ripley here will win the SmackDown Women's Championship. Staying with the championship theme, and again, I just kind of wrote this down randomly here. The match that should main event night one. I think it's probably going to be Charlotte versus Rhea, unfortunately, but the Bloodline storyline, I think you need to have this close the show. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn versus the Usos. What more can be said? This story has been incredible. The fact that they didn't give us the immediate reunion at the Elimination Chamber has made this so much better. It was so compelling to see, is Kevin Owens finally going to come to his senses when Sami Zayn kept asking for his help. And, thanks to Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens finally did. And now I think Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, I think the downfall of the bloodline begins here. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, they defeat the Usos to become the new undisputed tag team champions. Moving on, we have a pair of Hall of Famers returning for a 6-woman tag match as Trish Stratus and Lita, who is one half of the women's tag team champions, with their partner Becky Lynch, will face Damage Control. So, Damage Control, to me, they need the win here, but do you bring Trish and Lita back to lose? Obviously, Lita is one half of the tag team champions, but to me personally, I'd rather have seen them put Becky and Lita in that women's tag team fatal 4-way match and just had the tag titles defended in that match and do Bayley versus Trish as a singles match. But as far as what I think who's going to win, I think it's going to be Damage Control. They need the win, and how it happens, simple. Trish, who, if you have not been paying attention, she's hinting at something, and she's going to turn her back on her best friend, Lita and Becky, in this match. Even though, like I said, you could go either way. You could have Damage Control lose, and then Io and Dakota kick Bayley out, and they get a new leader on the Raw after WrestleMania. Seth frickin' Rollins, Logan Paul. Now, this is Logan Paul's birthday on Saturday. Is he going to win? No. But he did reveal that his contract is up. So, I'm not really a fan of Logan Paul, so I'm kind of glad. I'm sure he'll be back, do more matches, but I just never was a fan of his. I thought more deserving wrestlers should have been given his spots that he was given. But I think Seth frickin' Rollins wins here. Seth Rollins deserves a lot better than Logan Paul. I think you could have easily inserted him into the Roman Cody match for Sunday. Rey, Dominique, father, son. It's funny because Dominic finally got some personality. They finally fixed him. They made him his own man when he turned and joined Judgment Day. Now we see Rey going into the Hall of Fame, and Dom is potentially going to beat his Hall of Fame father. And I don't see that. I see Rey winning here, but I give WWE a lot of credit with this build-up. Rey refusing to fight his son, similar to how Undertaker refused to fight his brother Kane in the build-up to WrestleMania 14. I loved it, and I loved how they used his family, like Dom yelling at his mother and his sister, and that finally got ready to snap. Like, absolutely phenomenal storytelling. The men's showcase match, honestly, I would like to see RK Bro replace one of these teams and come back and win in style, with Randy Orton and Matt Riddle replacing one of these teams and winning as a nice surprise. But if I have to choose predictions, I can't predict my fantasy booking, but I think looking at this match here, I think it's Viking Raiders. I think they're going to be built up as, especially once you split the tag titles up, I think they're going to be built up. And that moves us to WrestleMania Sunday. So, Asuka versus Bianca Belair for the Raw Women's Championship. We've gotten the feel-good story with Bianca the last 2 years. I think it's time to move on. Like I said, without Charlotte and Rhea, the build to this one as well has not really been as good. And it's a shame because I think both the Raw Women's Championship match and the SmackDown Women's Championship matches, I think the matches could be better than the build. But I think Asuka is going to beat Bianca Belair to Edge, Finn Balor inside Hell in a Cell. Man, does this feel like this feud has dragged on and on? But we finally get a resolution to all of this. I think Finn Balor, who is bringing back the Demon, will beat Edge here. Edge puts Finn Balor over. I would like to see maybe Finn Balor be elevated to go up there for maybe the U.S. Championship. Maybe John Cena wins, beats Theory, and then has an open challenge. And then Finn Balor beats John Cena, and then John Cena goes back to Hollywood. Either way, I think this is going to be a great match. A lot of potential for match of the night. A lot of matches that could be match of the night, match of the year on this card. Brock Lesnar, Omos. Listen, I know a lot of people don't like this match. Fans hated this. But I'm going to say Brock Lesnar wins here. Vince had Hogan body slamming Andre the Giant. Triple H is going to have Brock Lesnar F5 and Omos. The women's showcase match, I'm just going to say Ronda and Shayna. This match is built for them to win. They're the only logical team that can win here. Ronda stated that she wants a run with the tag titles, with a run with the women's tag titles with Shayna. So I could see this setting up Ronda, Shayna versus Becky and Lita at WrestleMania Backlash. Intercontinental Championship on the line. Drew McIntyre, Sheamus, and Gunther. I think Gunther wins here. I don't see Drew or Sheamus winning yet. I think a lot of fans are on board with Gunther beating or breaking the Honky Tonk Man's record for the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion, and to do that, he would I think that puts him at like in the fall, which would be around where maybe they do Clash of the Castle 2. So that would be very interesting to see if he makes it that far. But Drew and Sheamus, I can see them being occupied with one another. That opens the door for Gunther to win. Finally, the undisputed Universal Championship. Cody Rhodes, the winner of the Men's Royal Rumble, will face Roman Reigns. And boy, if you would have said if in 2020, when AEW was just starting, and you would have told me that Cody Rhodes in a couple years, in 3 years' time, would be main eventing WrestleMania for the championship after starting his own after helping start AEW, I would have told you were crazy. But yet, here we are. The Bloodline story has been great. I think overall, it's time for it to end. I think Cody Rhodes finished the story. The story gets finished here. Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens on WrestleMania Saturday. They finished the story with the Usos. Cody Rhodes finishes the story with Roman Reigns. Cody Rhodes is your new champion. And by the thumbnail of this video, I hope that on the Raw after WrestleMania, that we get the Winged Eagle belt or some variation of it. I've seen people posting pictures of a Cody Rhodes specific Winged Eagle. But either way, I want to see the Winged Eagle title back in some form. And then maybe for SmackDown, maybe you retire the Universal Championship and you bring back the big gold belt. So, yeah, those are my predictions for WrestleMania 39. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think is going to happen? This is Triple H's first WrestleMania. Will Triple H succeed? Is this going to be a sign of things to come? And can we please stop the rumors of Vince McMahon being back in creative, please? Because if you've been paying attention to WWE these past few months, it's pretty telling that Vince has nothing to do with creative. Anyway, I've been your host, Money Mike. I'll be back here Saturday morning with another video where I will, fantasy book what I think should happen at WrestleMania. So subscribe for more wrestling content, and I'll have a WrestleMania review on Monday or Tuesday. So until then, until Saturday morning, enjoy SmackDown, the Hall of Fame, and man, I want to see Dom interrupt Rey Mysterio's Hall of Fame speech. Make that happen, WWE.